Some action there. Well, welcoming you on the show. Sport update on Trust TV. Adeni Ajishafe. It's time to look at stories trending again. As we start with Nigerian National League NNL, we'll be looking at 8 groups. We have 4 groups in the Northern Conference and also 4 groups in the Southern Conference, where 4 teams right now, they've qualified for the Super 8, while the remaining 4 will be fighting hard to see how they can also make it to the Super 8 before the main winner of the league will be determined there. In the studio with me is Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
Thank you, Adeni. It's a pleasure being here.
Yes, let's start with the first, looking at the NNL, Nigerian National League. Well, the Northern Conference, that's Group A1. We play their match and also the table alongside that particular result there. Let's look at the NNL there. Looking at match day 9, the results show Mighty Jets defeating Kogi United 1-0. Milantaki Care 1-0 against High Boss. ABS lost at home in Ilorin against EFCC. Why would they lose? After all, they are playing against EFCC. Well, Mighty Jets actually topping there. Let's run through this together. Well, you have the green, the team with the green color now. That's Mighty Jet. They qualify for Super 8 playoff. And you have the one in yellow relegation playoff. The one in red, they're actually going to relegation, Kogi United. And it's obvious right now that EFCC, ABS, High Boss, Milantaki Care, they're still safe from the way it is.
Yeah, they are still safe for now. And I think this is the league where we have more individual having the clubs, unlike we have in the Nigeria professional football leagues, and it is a bit difficult to see some of these clubs making it to the MPFL. Let's look at Mighty Jet, for example. Now, the last time they played in the Tier 1, that's the Nigerian Professional Football League, was in 1973, and they were founded in 1970. So that means in 1973 up to now, they've never make it to the Nigerian Professional Football League, because what? funds are not really available to them. Let's compare them with the likes of Rivers United or Bended Insurance. We know how much the Edo State government have spent when it comes to supporting and giving the Bended Insurance what they've achieved today, and also with Rivers United. So that's why it's a bit difficult for the NLL teams to make it when they get to the NPFL. It's like trying a tryout. They come this year, following next year or thereabout. So that is why we are calling on the Minister of Youth and Sport to look into a way of privatizing the Nigerian Professional Football League. Let's allow individuals that have the money, just like they have in the banking sector, that there's a percentage that government can have, as in the stake that they can have in each bank. Let's have it in all these clubs also, that each club in each state, you shouldn't have more than 10% stake or 15% stake in it. Let other people come in. And the reason why you have to do that, for example, Rivers State, if you still allow them to have the controlling share, which they call 51% and above, if they have the 51% controlling shares and you have 40%, will you be able to control them? You won't be able to control them. But if what you are having is not more than 15% and other shareholders, other stakeholders, they are having 75% to your own 15%, whatever issue you want to take, the decision will be you go by votes, and those people, they are looking at it as a form of investment. And they'll be looking at it as purely a business. So that's what we need to do with the NNL so that it can gain more attention. Look at the championship in England, for example. Now, it's even more interesting to watch than the Premier League, but people don't understand
Same
that.
thing with Serie B,
Serie B also.
Serie C.
So we should have that also, so that the concentration will not be on the Nigerian Professional Football League alone. We should go to the second tier, and this is where we can get greatest tomorrow, the future Super Eagles, the future Flying Eagles, the future Golden Eagles. That is what we really need to do. A very good one, and like you said, who wants to beat the FCC? Do you want to beat the FCC? Because if you beat the FCC,
seriously,
even the goal that you scored, they can come and audit the goal and say there's an element of corruption in it. So a very good one for the team and a very good one for Mighty Jet, and let's see what will happen.
Well, from there, we just look at Group A1 Northern Conference there. Let's switch to Group A2, still in the Northern Conference. The teams are qualifying for the Super 8, just like you have the Super 6 in the NPFL. Katsina United, they've qualified there right now. They also did well by at least they want to fight to see how they can come back to the NPFL next season. Well, right now, Katsina United are topping the group and they've already qualified. Katsina United, Kano Pillars, they've all done the business. And you look at Jigawa Golden Star, City FC, NAF FC, FWC Champion, 3 Abuja teams in that place. You have City FC, NAF FC, FWC are all from Abuja. Even the Green Berets, well, the Green Berets are based in Kaduna. But right now, the last match they played, Jigawa Golden Star defeated City FC 2-0. NAF FC lost against FWC champions. Green Beret shared the spoils against Katsina United. 1-1, it ended. And right now, Katsina United, they qualify for Super 4 celebrations there. Hoping that Super 8 rather.
Yeah, Super 8, and that's a celebration for them also. And they've tested the
NNL.
The NNL also. And right now, I'm sure their target is to come back to where they came from, together with the Kano Pillars also. And I'm sure they've learned their lessons, and the government also, they are really supporting them, because fighting among these unknown team, unknown players, it's very, very difficult, because the pitch in which they are playing, the atmosphere, the environment that they are playing in the NNL is totally different from the NPFL that we are even complaining that is not up to standard. So that is part of the issues, the problem that they are facing. But I believe at the end of the day, they'll still make it back to where they came from.
Well, hopefully, let's see how it's going to be now in the Super 8 race between those clubs. Now we go to Northern Conference, Group A3. A3 also, some games were played. Kebbi United 1-0 against Kano Pillars. Sokoto United 2, Zamfara United 0. And you look at the table, Kano Pillars, they've done the business. They've also qualified for the Super 8 right now, despite playing 7 matches. Kebbi are second, Malumfashi FC, Sokoto United, Zamfara. Good one for Kano Pillars. Let's go to Group A4 right now. So Kano, Katsina, they've also done it. And you have DMDFC. Right now, they are topping their group, but they are yet to determine who qualifies here, because they still have a match to play there. Police Machine, Ubidisa Stars, Adamawa United will all fight for honors to see who stays on from this Group A4. Well, quickly, let's go to the Southern Conference of Nigeria, where we have Group B1, B2, B3, and B4. FC1 Rocket They've done it right now with their one rocket. They've scaled through to the NNL Super 8 ahead of others. Well, the battle is really on in this group. You have Rovers coming second with 16 points. Warri Wolves, Van Dresser, Hensat, Go Round FC. In the last match they play, FC One Rocket blew out Van Dresser 3-1. Go Round FC 0-0 against Rovers, and Hensat lost 1-2 against Warri Wolves of Delta State.
Yeah, a very good one. And that your last statement, Go Round FC. It's like we have a funny way of
going around,
of going around, and probably that is why they are going back to relegation.
Seriously,
because they are going. So this is a very good development. Also, instead of having a jam-packed fixtures, what we have right now, just like we have in the MPFL, that you have two groups. We are having here also eight groups, and whoever wins, whoever top their group will now be the one to qualify. We've seen the likes of Kano Pillars, we've seen the likes of Katsina United, we've seen the likes of Mighty Jet, we've seen the likes of FC1 Rocket also. So that means when it comes to those 8 people, it will be a tough one. There's no push over, there's no walkover, there's no go around FC that everybody will look at the whipping team off the table. So I think it's going to be very interesting. One more thing that I think the IMC needs to look into is to look at this designated place where they'll be playing these matches. Look at a place where it will be more visible, where it will be more pronounced, where there will be more attention given to them, where everybody really know what they are really doing, what is happening. Because I'm sure a lot of people doesn't know that this NNL, what are they doing? When they win, where are they going to?
Let alone NLO, the third tier.
The third tier. This is the second tier, and whoever from the Super 8 here, we're going to have 4 teams that will qualify to go to the MPFL. And from the NNLO also, we have those that will qualify to represent. So these are the things that we need to do more media awareness to people, so that people will know that, oh, okay, the way they have it in Europe also, we have it here in our country. So we need that more media publicity to really let people know that this is what is going. And where best can they do this? They can do this in Abuja. We have this Abuja Stadium. We are not really utilizing it the way it should be utilized. It's only when we are playing
international matches,
Super Eagles, and the ill luck that Super Eagles are bringing to this stadium. We need to raise this by bringing in all these teams. Let them also feel the importance of playing at the national stadium. Some of them, I'm being sincere with you, most of this club, probably some of the players have not been to Abuja before. They've not played in the stadium that looks like Abuja Stadium before. So let's give them that exposure that we have internally here. So we can have the futures, we can say, oh, this is where we are playing. I think it will be a very good thing for them to look into.
Well, good one there. A quick look at the remaining parts of the Southern Conference. We just look at the B1. Let's look at B2, 3, 4. We have Sporting Lagos topping this group, although it's still open for anyone. There are 15-15-15. Crown FC, Ijebu United, a big one for the 3 teams, really trying to slug it out there in that group. They played their last match day 9. Crown FC peeped Sporting Lagos 1-0. Ijebu United did well against Gateway United in the derby there, 1-0 in Abeokuta. Smart City against FC Joy Comets. That's a match coming up today. Well, quickly, we look at Group B, B3 now. Abeokuta Stormers are topping there. Ekiti United, Madiba FC, Ikorodu City, and FC Ebede. Well, right now, Abeokuta Stormers defeated Ikorodu City 3-1, their last game. And you look at the match between Madiba and Ebede being on hold. Let's look at the last group in the Southern Conference of this particular Nigerian National League B4 now, as you look at their own table there. Well, Atlant did well, playing away to Ibom Youth in Akwa Ibom State. They were able to win 2-1, and Sinosho Pomel Idel FC 4-0. You have Abia Comet 1, Giant Brillas 0. How come Giant Brillas lost to Abia Comet? What happened to the Giant? Giant Brillas coming second so far in this group. For Heartland, they've also done the business of qualifying. Well, right now, they've won 6 matches out of 9. They drew 3. They have 21 points. I have right now, Heartland, Katsina, Kano Pillars are all qualifying for the Super 8. Well, good one for Heartland, Kano Pillars, Katsina, showing that, yes, where we came from, we want to go back there. Okay,
if you ask me to make a prediction, I think Kano Pillars, Katsina, and Heartland, 3 of them will qualify. It's only one from the remaining 4 teams that will join Kano Pillars, Katsina United, and Heartland. Why? based on their experience, their exposure, and what is already available for them in terms of the support they are getting from their government. I would be surprised if any of these three didn't make it back to the MPFL.
Well, we've been looking at the Nigerian National League, the second tier of Nigerian Football League, where we showcase the match day night table and also letting you know that at least some clubs right now, they've qualified for Super 8. The battle is still on, though, to see who will join the likes of Kano Pillars, Katsina, and Heartland, the Nazi millionaires, as they call them. Away from Nigerian football, let's quickly talk about an event that happened over the weekend against a Brazilian player. Vinicius Jr. was really attacked with racist chants on the match that Real Madrid played. It wasn't a good one for Vinicius Jr. Right now, he's getting solidarity support across the world, coming from even FIFA President Gianni Infantino, who actually offers support to Vinicius Jr. after a racism role. A big one there. Valencia fans didn't do well, actually chanting monkey chant against Vinicius Jr. Though a lot of African players, Brazilian, black players, a lot of them have been through this kind of issue before, but that particular was too kind of very loud against Vinicius Jr. and it has been very common. And right now, news have it that a lot of countries, clubs are issuing statements to give him support and also give other players support concerning this particular issue.
Yeah, I think the issue of discrimination against someone's race or tribe is totally uncalled for, and especially when it comes to sports. Sport is something that brings everybody together. So I think what they need to do, it's not about solidarity, support, or word of encouragement. And this is not the first time, this is not the second time, and this will not be the last time that this will happen. I think the FIFA, they need to look into the sanction metrics of if such incident happened, what would be the penalty? The first penalty they look into is fine, $30,000. I think that shouldn't be the first now. The first should be point deduction. That should be the first, without option of fine. So, I mean, without option of fine, the first thing is if your club, your supporters, you are able to control them and we have this ugly incident. 6 points deducted from you, straight off. Then the issue of fine can now come in maybe a second option or third option, but the first option should be number 1, point deduction. Either Champions League, that's your whatever competition, point deduction. Either 3 points, 4 points, or 6 points. Then you have to now trace it down to the individual. The issue of banning them for 1 year or whatever, no. They should find a way of criminalizing that offense so that the person will go through the normal criminal proceeding when it comes to discrimination. Because I believe in every part of the country, you have a constitution, you have a law speaking against discrimination of any form. So that they can take it up. I'm not a lawyer, but I believe this is very possible. By the time they do this, you will see that this issue will be long gone. So the first one, take it against the club. 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Then the 2 individual, take it upon them. Criminalize the offense. Let them know that they have it in their record that you are now a criminal. That will make them to do what? To think twice before they do all this issue. It is very disheartening for someone playing and you now be throwing monkey, banana pills because you're chanting monkeys. It's totally uncalled for. We've had this happening times without number. It's not about solidarity. It's not about word of encouragement. It's about eating them very hard.
Let them feel it.
Let them feel it seriously, the way the person also is feeling it. With that, I think we can come to the end of this issue.
Now, when this match was going on, a lot of people expected the match to stop, to be put into stop, if the fans don't stop chanting that monkey. And then the referee went on with the match. So that match is over now. But a lot of issues have been coming up. People say, okay, they should deduct that 3 points so that the fans will feel what they did was wrong. They should still deduct the point. They should not, since the match continued, the match was not stopped. Number 1, fault from the referee. Number 2, remove the point from Valencia. Number 3, there are 2-3 matches, play behind closed doors. Don't allow these fans to come in. It's because they have access to the state, the Messiah state. That's why they're chanting.
Okay, I think the referee also needs to be investigated to know the reason why he didn't stop the match. Because part of the act when it comes to this issue of racism in football, I can't remember the exact act, is that the players they have the right to stage a walkout.
Yes.
They have,
Real Madrid ought to walk out from that pitch.
They have the right to stage a walkout. If I am the coach, if I'm Ancelotti, and that's the situation, I will trigger that, maybe in communication to your legal advisor or your lawyer at the club, that this is what is happening. Can I do this in conformity with the acts that establish sanction? Because it's there, but I can't really recall the particular section, so they can stage that walkout. I think until we start doing this, these people, they will not stop this. It's very, very disheartening, sincerely.
Very disheartening to see players playing on the pitch, and they are actually there to entertain the fans, yet you call them monkey or throwing banana peel at them. It's not too good. After all, they have the same two eyes that you have, just because of the color, and you are not the creator. Anyway, we're just talking about football. Away from that, let's look at our last draw. Spanish La Liga fixture will be coming, but before we just look at those fixtures, let's just run through some story in the world of transfer. Well, Manchester United are in talks over a deal for Neymar. Neymar is a player of PSG. Right now, they want to get him to Manchester United. That's one. And we look at another one. Liverpool are close to agreeing a deal with Brighton midfielder Alexis McAllister. McAllister is a player of Brighton, but Liverpool really, they want to get him to play over their stadium. Well, let's see how those two players will be coming to England next season. But let's go back to the fixtures for tonight, La Liga fixtures, so that the guests can talk about those matches quickly. So Real Valladolid against Barcelona, Almeria Sociedad, Celta de Vigo against Girona. But Barcelona, they done the business. Maybe they should allow their feeder team to come and play this game.
Well, anyway, if they do that one, also they will be investigated.
No, just throwing some bands.
Match fixing also. So they still need to feed some of their best players also. So I think like Barcelona, they don't have anything playing for a game. Like rightly said, they will use their feeder team, but they will mix them with part of their
senior players,
the first 11. So I think the fight for survival is what remains now in all the leagues now. Like we saw in the Premier League, in the Italian Serie A also, and also this what will be going on tonight also is to see those that will be relegated, those that will qualify for and that will play in Europe next season, and those that will say, okay, let me just remain where I am and see have another opportunity to play in the La Liga next season. So it won't be that interesting until when it gets to the final stage. That is when you'll be looking at, oh, I need to get to this point. I need to concede this, or I need to concede less than this for me to remain. So it will be a good match to watch this evening.
Well, let's see what happens there. Talking about those matches, we've been looking at Nigeria National League, NNL. Super 8 race is on, but congrats to Kano Pillars, Katsina United, and also not forgetting Heartland in Azi Millionaires for qualifying for the Super 8. More of this in our subsequent edition. We've been with Olawale Peters in the studio. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Adene. It's a pleasure having me. So how are you feeling now with Arsenal coming second after?
I've been eating well. I've been living fine because I'm not collecting what they are collecting every week in, week out. No, that's football.
I like your consolation.
That's football. I like
your consolation.
I can't keep myself because of football.
I like your consolation.
Anyway, just to get back at me there. Anyway, I'm Adeni Ajisha. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.